She said, I always make a statement for statement moments. She wore the silver ones actually in opening night, receiving a title ring, the back-to-back ring. She also scored 1,000 points in the silver ones as well. She said, I had to break these gold ones in, but these are something she's very comfortable in, and obviously a great relationship that she has with LeBron James as well.
Aja Wilson is clearly jealous of Caitlin Clark's insane popularity, especially after Clark's Kobe V Protro sneaker sold out in a minute flat. Believe that. Meanwhile, Wilson's own signature shoe didn't get nearly the same love, even though Clark was ranked just 9th among guards in the 2025 WNBA All-Star voting by players. Wilson's envy is front and center, like when she told Time magazine in 2024 that race plays a big role in Clark's hype. It's insane. But here's the thing. Wilson's attitude, along with other players who seem to resent Clark, is pushing away new fans who are finally paying attention to women's basketball. They're stuck on the old days when the WNBA wasn't a big deal and lost millions every year. Let's get down to it. Aja Wilson's A One shoe, which hit stores in May 2025 for $110, had all the bells and whistles. Cool commercials directed by Malia Obama, designs that shouted out her leadership as a black woman in a league where most players are black. But it just sat on shelves, and even on resale sites, prices barely budged above retail. Now compare that to Clark's $190 Kobe sneaker. That thing was gone in 60 seconds, somewhere between 9,000 and 14,000 pairs, raking in about $2.5 million. On sites like StockX and GOAT, people were flipping them for $350 to $600, sometimes even more. Social media went wild, with posts about Clark's shoe outshining Wilson's by a mile, and Google searches for Clark were 8 times higher on release day. Wilson, who's been a Nike star for years, must be fuming that Clark, a second-year player, stole the show without even trying.
Dynamic player in the game. 9 points in 38 seconds for Caitlin. She hit all 3 threes.
And here's where it gets even crazier. Nike didn't see Clark's star power coming, and that's got to sting for Wilson. Clark signed a huge $28 million 8-year deal with Nike before her rookie year in 2024, but they didn't give her a custom shoe at first, just some Kobe sneakers with her team's colors. When they finally dropped her Kobe sneaker, it was like the internet broke. The ad for it was simple but awesome. Clark in a locker room, her eyes flashing with the Kobe logo like she's ready to dominate. Fans loved it, and some even camped out at stores calling it Clark Mass. Wilson's shoe, even with all its fancy marketing, didn't get that kind of love. It's like Nike bet on Wilson to be the face of women's hoops. But Clark's the one everybody's talking about, and Wilson's not happy about being left in the dust.
Just when I thought things could not get any worse at the worldwide leader in woke. Just when I thought ESPN's coverage of basketball couldn't get any more substandard. Just when I thought the hatred, the jealousy of Caitlin Clark couldn't be any more obvious, ESPN once again proves there is not an original thought at this network.
But what happens next will leave you speechless. The All-Star voting just poured fuel on Wilson's jealousy. Clark got ranked 9th among guards by other players, way behind names like Alicia Gray or even her teammate Kelsey Mitchell. That's probably because Clark's shooting wasn't great, only 29.5% from 3, and she led the league in turnovers with almost 6 a game. Plus, she missed 7 games with injuries. Wilson, on the other hand, was a top vote getter, which makes sense since she's a beast, averaging 23 points and 10 rebounds a game, fresh off a 2024 MVP award. But here's the kicker. Clark still got 1.3 million fan votes, way more than anyone else, and became an all-star captain. Fans and folks on social media, like Dick Vitale, started saying players were just jealous of Clark, which probably made Wilson even madder. It's like no matter how good Wilson is, Clark's getting all the attention. And this part, it changes everything. Wilson's also got people talking because some think she's getting special treatment from refs, which makes her complaints about Clark look a little shaky. On social media, fans have pointed out stuff like Wilson getting 13 free throws in a game against Indiana, including a sketchy call where a jump ball went her way instead of a foul that could have benched her. One fan posted, "Wilson's getting away with everything, and it's hurting the game." She's averaging over 7 free throws a game, second only to Angel Reese, and some say that's just because she's tough in the paint. But others, especially Clark's fans, are calling her out, saying she's the most privileged player when it comes to refs. Sure, Wilson took a hard hit that gave her a concussion against the Sparks in June 2025, and that wasn't called either, so it's not all one-sided. But the WNBA admitted refs messed up in a game involving Clark, and the chatter about Wilson getting favorable calls doesn't help her case when she's saying Clark's only big because of race.
I mean, is that displacement? I think that is.
And by the end of this, you'll understand why this is so important. Wilson's jealousy and the way other players seem to share it is a problem for the WNBA. Before Clark came along, the league was losing money, somewhere between $10 and $50 million a year, according to reports. Nobody was really watching, and arenas were half empty. Clark changed all that. Her games sell out stadiums, boost TV ratings by 200%, and even get bars in other cities throwing watch parties. She's bringing in new fans, kids, casual viewers, even older folks who see her as the next big thing, like Michael Jordan was back in the day. Wilson's awesome, no doubt, but her shoe and her style appeal more to die-hard fans who already love the Aces or care about her story. When she and other players act like Clark doesn't deserve the hype, like voting her 9th or calling out her popularity as unfair, they're pushing away these new fans who are finally making the WNBA a bigger deal.
Like, nobody's going to ever do what this team's doing. Well, here you go.
Enrique from way downtown. Nancy, by the way, she'll be part of the Hall of Fame ceremony on Saturday. She's going to be part of the presenters for the 76 Olympic team, along with our good friend Ann Myers.
Stick around because the next part is huge. This whole thing could hurt the league's future. The WNBA just signed a $2.2 billion TV deal over 11 years, and a big part of that is because of Clark's ability to draw crowds. She's not just a player, she's a game changer who's getting people excited about women's basketball. Wilson's comments, like the ones in Time where she said race is why Clark's so popular, stir up drama that makes new fans feel unwelcome. Social media is full of posts calling her out for this, with some saying she could have just said, "Hey, Clark's doing great, and I've got my own thing coming." Instead, she's leaning into a narrative that splits fans, especially when people point out that before her, only white players like Sabrina Ionescu had signature shoes. That's a fair point, but it doesn't help when she's seen as getting extra calls from refs, which makes her look like she's got her own advantages. And here's where everything changes. Nike's all in on Clark now, and that's got to make Wilson even more jealous. They're already working on her first real signature shoe for 2026, with a new design, her own logo, and probably 100,000 to 150,000 pairs to keep the hype going. They've got 2 more Clark-themed Kobe sneakers coming in 2025 too, banking on her connection to Kobe's legacy, which fans in places like Asia and Europe love. Wilson's a 1 might get some new designs or community events to boost sales, but it's tough to compete with Clark's wave. Her popularity isn't just about basketball, it's about how she gets everyone excited. Kids shooting threes in their driveways, fans lining up at stores. Wilson's stuck in a mindset that wants the WNBA to stay how it was, when it wasn't making money, and nobody outside hardcore fans cared.
Here we have the A1. It is a beautiful shoe, if I have to say so myself. But my favorite would have to be just the side of the tongue. It's tattoo that I have within now. This was my dad, and the other sister was my mom. And the other sister, A, but you're gonna have to try the shoe. I'm gonna talk about it. But no, this is
And the final twist, it's something no one expected. If Wilson and other players keep up this jealousy, they're risking the WNBA's big moment. Clark's bringing in fans who are spending money, filling seats, and making the league relevant. The old way, where stars like Wilson ruled but the league struggled, kept the WNBA in the red. Clark's not perfect, Her turnovers and missed games show why players ranked her 9th, but her ability to pack arenas and sell $2.5 million in sneakers in a minute shows she's what the league needs to grow. Wilson's complaints, especially when fans think she's getting referee love, make it look like she's fighting against that growth. She's got the skills and the story to shine, but by focusing on what Clark's getting instead of building her own lane, she's helping push away the fans who could finally make the WNBA a financial winner. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned.